Greetings and salutations. This is MazezRealm once again, and this is yet another Modern Warfare 3 commentary. And in this commentary, I'm going to be covering more tips and tricks into conquering your opponents in the new Modern Warfare 3 game mode, Face Off. Now, if you watched the first episode of my Face Off series, you saw gameplay of Markolinth and myself playing on the map Getaway. Now, that map was more close quarters and fast gunplay type of gameplay. Now, this map, Lookout, is a little bit different. The sightlines are much longer. The gameplay is much more controllable, and you can choose whether to engage the enemy in a fast-paced type of way or in a very calculated and long-distance type of engagements that will basically slow down the gameplay a little bit. So basically, in this episode, I'm going to be talking about both the loadouts you should use on this map and what you need to do on face-off modes in general to get a shutout on your opponents and not take any deaths on the scoreboard. Now, that is easier said than done, but hopefully this episode will give you guys a little bit of a perspective on what type of mindset you have to have in order to shut out your opponents. So, without further ado, I'll jump right into class setups. Now, as you see here, I'm using the G36C with a suppressor. My proficiency is the focus proficiency. Now, depending on what assault rifle you want to use, focus is the #1 go-to proficiency you should use. If you're sniping, you can use whichever proficiency you feel comfortable using as a sniper. Now, sniping in this map takes a little bit of skill, and also it takes the right setup to have on your sniper rifle. If you're going to snipe on this map, you want to use either the MSR or the L118A. If you're brave, you can also use the Barrett or the AS50. Now, you want a sniper rifle that has a lot of stopping power and will drop your opponent in one shot. That is the type of sniper rifle you want to take into this type of gunfight. Just because the limited amount of time that you have in seeing your enemy is very, very, very narrow. You will see your enemy in a split second, and in a split second they'll be behind cover. So you want to make sure that you have a sniper rifle that will deal the most amount of damage when you see your opponent. So stick with those types of sniper rifles. Now, for assault rifles, it's obvious that you should use an assault rifle that has manageable recoil and has really good damage at long range. These type of assault rifles would include the G36C, the ACR 6.8, and if you're brave enough, throw on the AK-47, and it's a little bit more challenging, but it has a lot of good damage at long range as well. Another really good assault rifle for this map is the MK14. So keep those particular weapons in mind. As far as your perks are concerned, Scavenger is a must if you're going to be engaging the enemy at long range, because you're not going to have time to swap weapons or to really pick up more Scavenger packs. So Scavenger Pro allows you the ability of having the most amount of ammunition starting out. So that is definitely a perk you want to use. Assassin is another good perk to use so that you stay off of the radar when the enemy gets a UAV if you find yourself getting killed in the match. Quick Draw is another good perk to use in this map as well if you're going to be doing long distance firefights. Dead Silence obviously goes without saying that that is the best perk to use in face-offs in general, and definitely in this map as well. Now, I'm going to delve into, very briefly, different strategies you all should use when you're trying to not only dominate your opposition, but also get a shutout. Now, in this match, you probably saw that I took a lot of damage. And that happens from time to time. Now, the key is to maintain visual awareness and mental awareness of what is happening in the match and what is happening in front of you. If you take damage and you know you're not going to win the gunfight, retreat. That is a very, very important tip. Always retreat and never stick your head out of the same place twice. If you're taking damage, retreat back out of that area of the map and go back to another vantage point and take out your opponent that way. If you follow these easy steps, you will find yourself having more and more success on this game mode. So stay tuned for the next episode, where I'll be covering the last two maps on this face-off mode.